What's good, y'all? You already know what day it is. It's Sumi Sunday, and today I kind of wanted to expand on what I was talking about the other day about not funding these racist organizations and giving them our money and doing business with them. And the other day I posted a video about how there was a Mexican boss of owner of a company, and he had a black employee, and his black employee wasn't able to cash his check at the bank, I guess, that his company did business with, or that he cashed it, put the deposits through with. And so the problem was all his other employees were able to cash their checks, and I guess they never had a problem. But for some reason, the black employee had an issue cashing his check at the bank. And then he was kind of going off on them and basically saying they discriminated against his employee and, different stuff like that. And I commend everything he did. That was great. And that's the whole thing I be saying is that we have to have unity between, all minorities in general and white people too who aren't against racism. Like, we all have to have unity with one another and work together because overall, like I said, the system is set up for us to fight against each other and not really realize the bigger pictures of what they doing and how they keep us oppressed and the things they do to keep us fighting against each other in order to not realize all the other underhanded things they doing behind our back so that we not realizing so that we don't get to that different to that level they at because like I always say it's like the top I think 1% on I want to say like 80% of the wealth in America. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a few thousand people own majority of the country, running majority of the country, but we make up not 80%, the 90% of the population. So we make up that other percent of the population, but we don't have no impact on nothing that's going on, like as far as wealth, as far as finances. And it's just like if people really all like came together and thought about that, like why is there such a big wealth gap? What can we do to close that? How can we all as a community work together to make sure that that's more fair and more equal, and it's not one person is worth $100 billion and another person is homeless, stuff like that. Like, what can we do to bridge those gaps and have a sense of have a close I can't think of the word, but just having that reducing that level of in, the level of wealth gap, just reducing that, by a lot. Because if we really came and made some plans, came together and thought some things through, we could figure out how to, get some of these things changed and how to get some things fixed and addressed. And the problem is a lot of rich people don't care and they want to become richer and they don't want to give away none of their money. And then a lot of poor people don't care to learn and educate themselves on how to become wealthy and how to gain wealth and how to get to that level. And at the same on the flip side of that, also a lot of people who not really wealthy and stuff like that, they're not wealthy because they're not willing to do some of the things some business people are willing to do in order to gain that wealth. So it's different sides of it, but I just wanted to kind of bring that into the circle of what I was going to discuss today, which was yeah, stop funding these institutions that don't support us or that's racist towards us. And I was going to kind of just tell the story of what happened to me because when I was working in Pennsylvania, I had a Wells Fargo bank account, and there was the one by my job because I travel a lot, so I was traveling for work for Pennsylvania. So I'm not from Pennsylvania, but there was one by the site I was working at in Pennsylvania. So I went there to deposit, cash a check, and everything. And I didn't have any issues with them. I came in, cashed a check. There was no issues, and they said check you take like three to 5 days to clear. So they was like, oh, you can take out so much money up front. I think it was like $5,000 or something, but you can't take out the rest of your money until like 3 to 5 days from now. So I was like, cool. And then I think I saw that it went through, and they said it should be through by I think I did it Monday, and it should be through by Friday. So Friday come along, and I go to a different bank that's by my hotel because I was about to leave out because we on work because I leave on Fridays usually. So I was about to leave out, and I was like, hey, I'll just go to the one by my hotel to get the money before I leave to go back home. And so I went to that Wells Fargo by my hotel, and I tried to withdraw the money. And I don't really withdraw money too much from my Wells Fargo account. So I didn't remember like my PIN number. So I went inside, I had like three forms of ID and different stuff like that. And they told me, oh, you have to enter your PIN in order to take the money out. I'm like, well, I don't know my PIN. And when I called, they told me that I can come into a bank to get my PIN reset and stuff like that. I was like, well, we don't this doesn't seem like this, we can't verify who you are, and we don't know if this is really you, so we can't let you take the money out unless you have a PIN number. And I'm telling them, like, but they told me to come into the bank to get my PIN number, the issue rectified, so I can withdraw if I need to withdraw money and stuff like that. And they basically was telling me like they didn't feel comfortable giving me the money, and they couldn't prove it was me and different stuff like that. And that they was giving me a whole like crazy ridiculous excuse on why they couldn't give me the money. So I ended up not being able to take the money out, and the bank was acting very weird towards me and giving me these weird excuses on why I couldn't withdraw my own money. So then I went back to the other bank I used by my job, and I asked to withdraw the money, and at the same time they remembered my face. So they was like, oh, you coming back to withdraw the rest of the money? No, and I told them, yeah. And I told them about my PIN issue and everything. And they told me, oh, no problem with that. We can fix that and change all that there. And so at that point, they were able to give me the money from that branch and fix my PIN number and everything. So now I'm thinking, so what was the problem with the other bank that I couldn't get these issues resolved? And so for me personally, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know, but I feel like I was profiled, and they didn't feel comfortable giving me the money because I was black, and they thought, maybe I was doing something fraudulent and trying to, I don't know, steal money out somebody's account. I don't know what they was thinking, but I didn't like the way they did it. And like I told them, like like I said, I had IDs and everything to prove who I was, and I told them I had the PIN issue. So I feel like I was being profiled. And I even let the Wells Fargo like corporation know that, and they just sent me this letter like, oh, they just following procedures and stuff like that. And so after I got that letter from Wells Fargo, I just called and told them to close my account after that, because I just didn't feel like, that was right. And I don't feel like you should be justifying, your branches kind of profiling people and, kind of just picking and choosing who they want to help. But I don't even know how they decide what merit they can decide that on, because if I got all my identifications, but I don't remember my PIN, you're supposed to help me change my PIN. That's why you go into the branch, so they can help you do stuff like that. So they wasn't trying to help me do nothing like that. So at that point, I'm like, so you clearly just think, you trying to act like I'm just an illegal person or I'm fraudulent, and you don't basically trust me because I'm black, and you think I'm trying to do something like some type of scam or something shady. So I say all that to say, after that, I opened up a black bank called Industrial Bank. I've been using them since. I really like Industrial Bank. They don't charge any like fees. They don't have no minimum fees and different stuff like that. So I like them a lot. I know a lot of people like One United, but I know they have a lot of fees. That's why I didn't open up an account with them. But so far, Industrial Bank is a great bank. They based out of Maryland. And another thing I might try to do is open up like a credit union, a black credit union. But regardless of all that, I just want to say, if somebody's doing something wrong by you, don't do business with them no more. Do business with your own people, or find somebody else that you can do business with, and stop going back to people if they treating you bad. And like somebody has mentioned before, which was a valid point, was that we'll get on our own people and be like, oh, well, I can't do, that's why I don't do business with black people. They always doing this, they always doing that. Because you had one bad experience with a black person in a certain area, whatever you did, whatever you needed from them as far as business or services. But we'll keep going back to McDonald's, or people will keep going back to Walmart, or they'll keep going back to these big franchises every time they mess up. But they might not even do nothing about it. Like, it's one thing if they compensate you or they did something to rectify the situation. But if they didn't do anything about it and they gave you one of them like BS, oh, well, this is, we just trying to follow procedure, and they didn't do anything to rectify the situation that they did, then it's like, why are you still going to them and doing business with them? Clearly, they don't care. They don't care about your service. They don't respect you. You know, and so that's what I'm saying. Go to people that respect you and care and is going to do right by you. You know what I mean? Or at least they should be doing right by you. So go figure out who you can support that's going to, give you that sense of, okay, they have my best interest at heart, and they generally do have your best interest at heart. That's all I'm saying, man. Just support your own people. And if we did that, like, we all took our money out of regular banks and start supporting black banks and credit unions and stuff like that, our voice is gonna be heard. So when we hurt them, when we stop doing stuff for them with them financially, that's when our voices get heard. That's why I'm saying, like, with the bus boycott, when we stop catching the buses and we start walking and stuff like that, that's when there's like, you know what? We losing too much money. We need to respect what they have to say. And if we do that with everything, especially banks and buying clothes and different stuff like that, our boys gonna be heard. Like, oh, you know what? We losing a lot of money. They not buying our stuff no more. They gonna realize that, hey, we need to hear what they need to say, because it's hurting us financially. And that's why a lot of people trying to be politically correct now and stuff, because they know if they not, it's gonna hurt them financially. And that's the whole thing. They know when they getting hurt financially, they gonna do what's right. Sad as it may be, only way for them to do something right is by hurting their pockets. But if that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do. And I just wanted to, get that off my chest today and give y'all the little background story, what I was talking about the other day. And, like I always say, man, if nobody else rooting for you, I'm rooting for you. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. And, man, bank black, man. Bank black, open a black bank, learn how to invest. And like I say, if anything I can do to help, man, let me know, man. Because I just want to help everybody be great. And I want to see my people succeed, man. It's been too long of us just being put down and not knowing. And some people just okay with not knowing and being ignorant. It's like, no, it's not cool to be ignorant. Like, be great. I want y'all to be great, man. I genuinely want y'all to be great. And whatever I can do to help y'all be great, man, please let me know. Because, man, it's just something. It's something at this point in my life, after doing like reflection and stuff like that, that just makes me happy seeing other black people do well and succeed. Especially if they're doing it the right way. So y'all be great out here, and it's all love. Sue me. You already know.